Hello and welcome to the Concord Co-op Community Connections. It's Nazzy from the Pulse of New Hampshire, joined once again by Mr. Greg Lessard. Happy Friday to you, Greg.
Well, hello there, Nazzy. Happy Friday to you as well. We're finally getting some warmer weather, aren't we?
What? Yeah, not today.
But next week, I was seeing 60 degrees, so looking forward to it.
You know what? Summer is just a heartbeat away. All right. Yeah. I am very excited to talk to our first guest today because I need to know what Smart Chicken is. Dean Strange is here. How are you today, Dean?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
So tell us all about air-chilled Smart Chicken, because I've got to tell you, I am the world's biggest chicken fan. So what makes this so special?
Well, first of all, you'll love our product. We've been around since the late 90s. We're actually from the Midwest, Nebraska. Okay. Reason being, that's right in the middle of the corn and soy belt.
Yeah.
Once product is processed, we have the ability to go to the West Coast or the East Coast within 2 days and deliver perfect product.
That's cool.
So I met Dean years ago. He would be in the Concord Food Co-op doing demos. He was, cooking the chicken up in a little skillet, and what were you probably just even butter and salt and pepper. But every time he took a bite, he said yum, and he sure meant it. And it looked delicious and it tastes delicious. But years of trying Smart Chicken, I don't think Dean has changed his opinion. He just loves every bite like it's his first bite, I believe, and it is always in our refrigerator and freezer here, because it is significantly different in taste and juiciness. So a little bit about that, Dean. What makes it so different? Why do I find it just so much better than other chickens that are out there?
Well, first of all, we have a two-tiered program. We have an all-natural and an organic. The difference being that the organic, it's all non-GMO feed. You probably couldn't tell the difference in taste, but if you have to have truly organic, it's the non-GMO feed. Mm-hmm. What we really do to differentiate ourselves is we're the first company, the poultry company in the United States that brought CAS. It's a European standard. It's called Controlled Atmosphere Stunning. What it is, it's an influx of CO2 and oxygen. It renders the birds unconscious. We basically put them to sleep before they're processed. Mm-hmm. What this does is it makes the chicken very tender. The animal is not stressed at all.
Yeah.
Then from that, what we do is a purified air chilled. Once again, we're the only company in the country that does a purified air chilled program. The majority of our competition, they'll do a modified program where they'll still spray the chickens when they go through the chamber, and a warm chicken will absorb a lot of that water. What the purified air chilled system does for us, it allows zero retained water. So the meat, it's not compromised. So when you're cooking the chicken, if you have water in it, it purges out. And what does it do? It takes all the natural flavor from the chicken.
Takes the juice with it.
There you go. So the purified air chill locks in all the natural juices and the flavorness and the tender from the CAS, and you have a perfect product.
My mouth is already watering just listening here. All right. So Dean, I have a question, and I hope it's not a stupid question. We buy chicken in bulk because, like I said, pretty much chicken is featured in every one of my dinners. How long can we keep a Smart Chicken in the freezer? What's the average lifespan? So if I bought a whole bunch at the co-op, how long would they last in my freezer?
I would say 6 to 8 months, no problem.
Oh, wow.
Now they also have whole birds, and weekly we have a whole bird. So we just put it in a skillet in the oven, and we put vegetables all around it. It's done about 2 hours later. Big plump birds, and so the next day I usually make a chicken soup out of it, which is delicious. And the calf, the co-op calf, we are making whole birds. They're barbecuing whole birds every day, and those are out on the hot bar for the grab and go. And they're using the Smart Chickens, and it's a great deal on those. I think it's about the same price you pay for one that's not cooked. So it's just another way to try it is you just can pick a whole bird up at the Concord Food Co-op. Weekly they're out there. But the whole birds are another. But Dean, what's one of your favorite recipes with your chicken?
I was just going to ask him the same question.
My wife makes buffalo boneless chicken thighs in the crock pot.
That's my favorite. Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh,
Amazing. Just melts in your mouth, and it's just it's so nice. And our product's so unique also because, we don't mechanically separate. Everything that we do, all of our cuts are all by hand. So there's 0% fat. There's no extra product. It's 100% chef's trim.
Yep. No, Greg, I want to ask you the same question you just asked Dean. What's your favorite way to prepare smart chicken?
I just love it in the skillet, and again the whole birds in the oven just come out great. And again we have the smart chicken. The thighs are just wonderful. They're so tasty. The thighs are anyway. So we get those all the time as well. But Dean, doesn't your website contain recipes as well?
Well, thousands and thousands of recipes using all various cuts. Absolutely.
That's so
and
cool.
What's your website?
Smartchicken.com.
I want to back up just a moment here, Dean. You were talking about the unique process that you use to prepare the chickens from start to finish, from when they go in till they're packaged. What's the amount of time that takes?
24 hours.
That's quick.
Yes.
That's really quick. And then that makes a difference. And then you said within 2 days, it's out, shipped around the country.
In the East Coast or the West Coast. We could actually do it in 12 hours, but because we also have an aging process, we age all of our whole birds on the bone for 12 hours. And what this does, it takes any of the rigor out of the meat. It's really relaxed and it's much more tender. So when you put it in a package, it's perfect.
That sounds now hold on. A question for Greg. Greg, do we have any smart chicken ready to go right now at the co-op? Because I'm thinking this is where I'm going for lunch today.
Yes, yes, we do. There's definitely smart chicken, and Friday's I believe that's the delivery day. So there's definitely some smart chicken at the co-op at this time.
Now, Dean, let me ask you this: did the pandemic slow you down at all? Did it change how you operate your business? Did it affect your process in any way?
Yes, it affected us a great deal. We actually had a 40% increase in demand.
Oh, wow.
Reason being, we're not a food service company. We're primarily retail stores. And of course, the demand at store level went up along with the pandemic.
Yeah.
And as that went up, the demand for smart chicken increased. So within 7 to 8 weeks, we were able to catch up and bring some additional birds on to fill the demand.
Wow. Everybody had to
not
pivot.
slow down.
Yeah, it had to pivot. And I imagine just the way you operate there must have changed a little bit as well, too, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Dean. I know what I'm having for dinner tonight, and I suspect Nazzy is probably having smart chicken as well. So we thank you for coming on today and telling us all about what makes smart chicken so tasty.
Perfect. Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, forget about dinner, Greg. No dinner. I'm going there for lunch. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, well, grab one of those birds. I don't think you'll get out of the parking lot before you're jumping into it. I don't think you'll.
I am a chicken fiend. I love it. Our next guest, Miss Leah Madsen. Good morning, Leah. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm great. Thank you.
So from Equal Exchange, thank you for being part of the show. What are we chatting about today?
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Yeah, all about Equal Exchange. They, I think, are a very unique company, and I would like Leah to tell us about Equal Exchange and the products that they can find, the Equal Exchange products that we can find at the co-op.
Yes, happy to. First of all, it's really special to be connecting with Concord Food Co-op, and I wanted to hone in on the co-op part of this because we're a unique supplier to you all in that way, as we are ourselves a worker-owned co-op, and we source from producer co-ops. So I think that's a theme to touch on now, that across our supply chains, it's co-op to co-op to co-op. And we work with a variety of different products. You can find us at the co-op showing up in your coffee section, bulk coffee, packaged coffee, chocolate bars, teas, some dried fruits and nuts. And what holds all of these different supply chains together in common is supporting small scale farmers who are organized together so that the supply chain is more democratic and more fair. And so that your customers, as members and shoppers at the co-op, can trust that people have been taken care of all along the way.
Leah, talk more about the products that you do offer at the co-op, because from what I understand, they're all very, very popular. Tell us a little bit more about what you do offer.
Yeah, I guess I'll focus on coffee for a minute, because coffee is central to what we do. It was the first product that we launched in 1986. We're celebrating 35 years today. I'm sorry, this year in May, celebrating 35 years. And we are a roaster as well. So we offer packaged coffee and bulk coffee, both of which are sold at the co-op. And we're a direct importer of that. So the dominant model in coffee is for roasters to work through importers. And in the case of Equal Exchange, we are the importer. And so, we write contracts directly. We take on more risk for the actual importing of the unroasted coffee is called green coffee. So the green coffee that comes into our warehouse, and then it's Equal Exchange worker owners that are roasting that coffee in huge drums and huge roasters that do 200 or 400 pounds at a time. And then it gets
so good in there. It must just smell amazing in there.
It is, and not to do a disservice to our other really important supply chains, but coffee is core to what we do. And I just wanted to touch on that a bit because it's really special in that we're both an importer and a manufacturer of that product.
So where are the coffee growers, and also where's the coffee being? It's being processed in the United States? So and where's that happening?
Yeah, the coffee is being roasted at our headquarters a little bit south of Boston. So, unfortunately, during the pandemic, so many of us have been working remotely. I haven't set foot in that building in about 12 months to be able to smell all of the deliciousness. But yeah, it's a pretty incredible operation. And in terms of the sourcing, we work with farmer co-ops in about 17 different countries for coffee. So about 70% of that is Latin America. Farmer groups we've worked with in Central America and South America, like since the beginning. I've had the pleasure and privilege of being able to visit some coffee farmers in Nicaragua and Guatemala with Equal Exchange when we've had chances to travel there as a group. And we also work with some co-ops in Ethiopia, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Indonesia.
Worldwide.
So,
that's really impressive.
And it represents tens of thousands of farmers. So we work with organized groups. I mean, that's how the producer co-ops are structured. You'll have anywhere from 30 farming families up to larger co-ops like in Ethiopia of tens of thousands of members, actually. And they farm at a small scale. So we're talking about sustainable family level. They own the land and they're farming together as a part of an organization to actually export it to us. So then it gets put on boats and shipped up to a port and then trucked to Equal Exchange.
Now, sticking with the distribution theme, and our prior guest asked me the same question. I'll ask it to you, Leah. How has the pandemic affected your company and your distribution? Because you just said a moment ago, you haven't actually set foot in the building in a year. So how is it your job?
Yeah, we really miss each other. So I guess starting with Equal Exchange and then working backwards in the supply chain a little bit, Equal Exchange, right out of the gate, adopted a variety of social distancing measures and working in smaller teams in the warehouse. So we were, identified early on as an essential operation with essential workers. So my coworkers who are on the production and packaging and distribution side of Equal Exchange have been in the building this entire time, but their work has had to shift significantly. Yeah. So it slowed things down a little bit. We ship next day now instead of same day, which is still really good.
Yep. It is very good.
Yeah, and I think we've been a reliable partner all along to our important customers like Concord. But then working backwards, shipping delays. I mean, you read in the news about containers being stuck all over the world with higher demand in certain places. So certainly a huge range of unpredictability there. And then the farmer co-ops have been an incredible source of resilience for communities where, a lot of farmers in coffee and cacao it's aging populations. Average age of a cacao farmer, growing cacao for chocolate is somewhere around 65. And so folks who are more vulnerable, needing to stay locked down, might rely on organizations like their cooperative to deliver them, pantry basics so that they can stay home and stay safe.
What do you see as the advantages of the co-op model? Because I think that would make your company fairly unique in your industry. So from your business model as far as and with the farmers, what would you see as the co-op model, the difference and the advantages?
I think the word resilience just comes to mind a lot. Certainly the farmer co-ops, like we rely on the way we trade and the fair trade model and the co-op model is meant to maintain a level of stability for farmers. So we're talking about commodity products, cacao, cashews, coffee. These are supply chains that are traded on global commodity markets, and that's going to put farmers and families just at the whims of these fluctuations in price. And the co-op model and the way that we trade guarantees a floor price for coffee and cacao that's set internationally, actually, by fair trade organizations. Like, this is the minimum that we're going to pay, as well as some like wonkier technical aspects. There's a term, you can see it mentioned on the side of some of our packaging, called pre-harvest financing, which means that Equal Exchange is paying our co-op partners in advance of owning the product, like in advance of the coffee even getting on the boat. We are paying before the harvest even happens. We are paying 50% or 60% of the contract, so that the cooperative has money to pay farmers immediately, as opposed to them waiting around for months to get paid, which is the typical dominant conventional model.
That's really cool.
You said something that concerns me, that the chocolate producers are a very aging population. So what is being done to bring new, younger farmers into that line of growing farming?
Yes, we need chocolate. So please.
I know. Well, that's one of the things that I think is also really unique about our role in the supply chain is, obviously it's not just us. Like, Equal Exchange is a part of building a more sustainable system here for everybody, but we are involved and active in these conversations. We're not just showing up and buying products. We are also working in ways to help support it. So we've had the great privilege of being, for example, a partner with USAID, with USAID, federal money from the US government to support cooperative development projects with certain groups. And so, for example, one of the projects working with cacao co-ops was, really training younger people and being involved in model farms on cacao with cacao farmers to help make it something that young people want to do. Because if they've seen their parents, their family members, the older generations suffer under oppressive conditions and not get paid what they really deserve, young people are not going to want to go into it. And so it's not appealing. And, you want to also be able to bring a strong sense of knowledge and skill to the job. Agriculture and farming sustainably and productively and farming and, growing good quality products is hard. And you have to use your brain as well as your hands and your heart. And if young people see that they can grow and develop within an industry, they'll be more likely to. But it's a concern. I mean, there are efforts to keep young folks farming, but it is for sure a concern and not something that'll be solved easily.
Well, Leah, listen, we want to thank you so very much for joining us today. In the final 15 seconds, Greg, please, website for the co-op. We can find out more what you have going on there.
ConcordFoodCoop.coop, and as a reminder, we have eShop on, and so all of Equal Exchange products are on there, and Dean's Smart Chicken's on there as well. So a good way to preview, but come on down to the co-op and pick up those products. They're great products.
Excellent. Thank you all very much. We'll talk next time right here on the Pulse.
Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.
Bye now.